Hello friends. In our last Zoom meeting we have already started the preparation methods of the carboxylic acid. So in the Zoom meeting we had completed the three preparation methods of the carboxylic acids. Now rest of the three we will learn now. So first three we had done. So fourth one, it was from the alkyl benzene. Alkyl benzene, it means, for example, suppose if we want to prepare the benzoic acid from the toluene, if this question is asked, how will you prepare the benzoic acid from the toluene? So first you must know what is this toluene structure. Toluene, it is another name is methyl benzene. So structure is benzene ring and methyl group is attached. We can write in this way also, or we can write directly CH3 also. So CH3, it means methyl group. This benzene, so it is known as a alkyl benzene, which undergo oxidation. So there are so many oxidizing agents we have done: KMnO4, K2Cr2O7, CrO3. Out of this oxidizing agents, we have to take KMnO4 and KOH, which is unheated. Then oxygen it supplies from the KMnO4. So this CH3 group, it is changes to COOK group. So it is known as potassium benzoate. This potassium benzoate, which again undergoes step number 2, hydrolysis. Then it has changes to acidic group COOH. So we are getting benzoic acid from toluene, or we can say either it is known as the methyl benzene. So in this way, this is the fourth preparation method of the aromatic acid from the toluene by the two-step reaction. The first step, oxidizing agent we have to use, and the KOH, and KOH because hydrolysis, and on hitting sign, then it gives the potassium benzoate in step number 1, which again undergo the hydrolysis. COOK group changes to COOH to form benzoic acid. Now suppose if they ask how will you prepare the benzoic acid from the cumene, suppose, then cumene formula is what? Then suppose cumene, it is the same reaction which undergo the same reaction like the toluene, but only the cumene structure. This carbon, it is the tetravalent. One side the benzene ring is there. 3 other valency, out of the 3 valency, 2 valency occupied by the methyl group CH3 and the CH3, and rest of 1 it is with the hydrogen. So this is the structure of the cumene is there. This cumene, same reaction undergo oxidize to form potassium benzoate only. And which potassium benzoate, we can mark the sign also, it's a negative, it's a positive sign, and which undergo hydrolysis and which gives the benzoic acid is there. So in this way, from the toluene, from the cumene, we get the aromatic acid by the fourth preparation method. Now let us see with the fifth preparation method. Now the fifth preparation method, it is from the ethene. Suppose this question can be asked in the exam, how will you prepare the benzoic acid from the phenylethyne? Last 2-3 years back, board exam question was there. How will you prepare the benzoic acid from the phenylethyne? This is only the simple reaction. It's a one-step reaction, nothing to add in the phenylethyne. But only thing is how to draw the structure of phenylethyne. Students always get confused how to draw this structure. So remember one thing, phenyl, it means it is the benzene ring. Circle inside. Now ethene, obviously ethane, it means the two carbon atoms are there. Now ENE ending, so there is a carbon-carbon double bond. Now this carbon, there is the two bonds are there surrounded, so two hydrogen. This carbon surrounded by the three bonds, 1, 2 and 3, so CH is there. So this is the structure of phenyl ethene. This phenyl ethene, that is undergo the oxidation in presence of KMnO4 and dilute H2SO4. On heated, directly this group changes to COOH group is there. So this is the reaction to prepare the benzoic acid from the phenylethyl. So nothing to add, only just writing on the arrow, that is compulsory. That is KMnO4 oxidation. So it supplies the oxygen and in presence of dilute H2SO4 and the heating sign is there. Now suppose this second example, if they ask how will you prepare the, suppose second one, what happens if the suppose cyclohexane undergo oxidize, this question is asked. Then cyclohexane structure is what? Cyclo, it means obviously there is a hexane. That is the hexane we have to draw. Cyclo without double bond. But there is an ending with ENE. So one double bond should be there. So this is the structure of cyclohexane. Then catalyst, it will remain same. KMnO4 in presence of dilute H2SO4, heating sign. Now in this case we are not getting the benzoic acid, but this bond it will break and to form dicarboxylic acid we are getting, and COOH. This bond break, one COH on the upper side, second COH on the other side, and it is known as adipic acid. Last 2-3 years back, the board question was that what is the structure of, or draw the structure of adipic acid. So we can write this way also, or either between this two acid group 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 carbon atoms are there. So CH2, 4. It is known as methylene group, tetramethylene. COOH, COOH. We can write it both the way. The meaning is same. This is known as the tetramethylene group. COOH on the left hand side, second COH on the right hand side, and this is the structure of adipic acid. So this is the fifth preparation method of the carboxylic acid. Now the second one is dry ice and Grignard's reagent. This is the sixth preparation method. All of you know that dry ice, it means the carbon dioxide. We can write in this way, CO2, CO2. Grignard's reagent we have to add in this. Which Grignard's reagent we have to add in this? It depends on your question. Suppose if they ask how will you prepare the acetic acid? So acetic acid formula is CH3COOH. If they ask this acid to prepare, then COO already is there. So CH3 is not there. So we have to introduce that CH3 group by using the Grignard's reagent. So Grignard's reagent, in this case we have to use CH3 MgBr. Now there is a Grignard's reagent on the arrow, dry ether. Now how the addition takes place? This C double bond O 2 times are there. 1 double bond O, it will remain as it is. This bond it will break to form a single bond instead of double bond, and this CH3 group, it is attached to this carbon from the front side, so it gives CH3 C double bond O as it is. This double bond remove to form a single bond O, and rest is MgBr. This is known as a Mg complex. This Mg complex which undergo hydrolysis. acid hydrolysis to form what? CH3, COO and H. So we are getting acetic acid. What is left? Mg is a divalent. So it is Br and other side OH is there. So in this way we are getting acetic acid from the dry ice and the Grignard's reagent. Suppose if they ask how will you prepare the propionic acid, then propionic acid formula is different. It is C2H5COOH. If this they want to prepare, then instead of CH3MgBr, we have to use the C2H5MgBr and rest of the reaction it will remain same. So in this way, we have done total the 6 preparation methods of the carboxylic acid. Now after the 6 preparation methods of the carboxylic acid, now the next session is the chemical properties of the aldehyde and the ketone. Chemical properties of aldehyde and ketone. Now in this first one, there are the laboratory tests for aldehyde and ketone. This whatever we will do now today, it is concerned with the practical. So focus on this for the practical purpose. No doubt it is not only for the practical, for the theory also. Now chemical properties of the aldehyde and the ketone is, the first one is reducing property. Property of aldehydes. Now we had done already in the 11th standard reducing property. It means what? It means the reducing agent, reducing property. It is nothing but the oxidation. Now this reducing property, it is only shown by the aldehyde. It cannot be shown by the ketone. This question can be asked, why aldehyde only can show the reducing property, it is not by the ketone? Then the answer for this, aldehyde, suppose if we take a general formula for the aldehyde, it is RCOH. In this there is a hydrogen, it is directly attached to the carbonyl carbon. So it is readily undergo the oxidation to form acid is there. So aldehyde, it is the good reducing agent. But what about the ketone? Suppose if we take the general formula of the ketone, R, C double bond O, R dash. Then in this ketone, hydrogen, it is not directly connected with the carbonyl carbon. So it is not readily undergo the oxidation. So this reducing property, it is only shown by the aldehyde, not by the ketone is there. Then how many reducing property of aldehydes are there? Then there are the 3 reducing properties of the aldehyde is there. Then which are those? Then which are those 3 properties? The first one is Tollens test. Second is Fehling solution test. And third is Skiff test. So remember these 3 reducing properties of the aldehydes are there. First is Tollens reagent test, Fehling solution test, and the third is the Skiff reagent test is there. Tollens reagent, we can say it is either the silver mirror test. Another name is silver mirror test is there. So we will see one by one. The first one, let us start with the Tollens reagent test. Let us start with the number one first reducing property, that is the Tollens reagent test. This Tollens reagent test, it is nothing but the Tollens reagent is ammonical silver nitrate is there. This is known as the Tollens reagent. When this Tollens reagent, it is boiled with the aldehyde. Suppose if I write general formula of the aldehyde, and ammonical silver nitrate formula is AgNH3 twice plus OH minus. Now this combination, it is known as the ammonical silver nitrate. This ammonical silver nitrate, it is also known as the Tollens reagent. This aldehyde, when it is added to this Tollens reagent, means heated, boiled with the Tollens reagent, that time this silver, it is reduced from Ag plus to Ag, and this ammonia gas is given out. We have to balance this reaction, make this 2. So Ag, it is 2 Ag, it is given out. NH3 becomes 4. So 4 molecules of ammonia gas is given out. This OH, now we have to balance. We have to make this OH 3 molecules. If we make this 3 molecules, suppose OH, OH and the OH, then how many molecules of the water is given out? 1 water molecule. This HO, it is combined with this hydrogen to form 2 water molecules is given out. And what is left? Then RCO and 1 oxygen from your minus. This is nothing but the carboxylate ion we are getting by the Tollens reagent. So this Tollens reagent reduces aldehyde to the carboxylate ion, reduces Ag plus to the Ag ion. Silver, it is formed inside the test tube, hence it is known as the silver mirror test. Now let us start with the second one, Fehling test. Now in the Fehling test, now there is the aldehyde, again it is boiled with the Fehling solution. Then in hot water, there is a red pipette of cuprous oxide is formed, and aldehyde is oxidized to carboxylate ion by Fehling solution, and Cu2 plus ion is reduced to Cu plus ion. Now how it is? Write in the form of reaction. Then suppose R plus, now cuprous, now it is 2 Cu2 plus 5 OH minus, then this is nothing but Fehling solution. When aldehyde is boiled with the Fehling solution, it is the mixture of the Cu and the OH. It means the copper sulfate and the NaOH combination is known as the Fehling solution is there. Now when it is boiled, that time this RCHO, it is oxidized to carboxylate ion. So it is RCO minus. This copper Cu2 plus, it is again reduces to Cu plus ion by Fehling solution. So it gives Cu2 plus O. It is known as the cuprous oxide red pipette. Now, suppose if we bifurcate this OH, one molecule, 2 molecule, and this OH and this hydrogen. So 3 molecules of H2O. So this is the Fehling solution test is there. Once again I repeat, when the aldehyde is boiled with the Fehling solution. Fehling solution, it is the combination of Cu and the OH minus, Cu2 plus and OH minus. That time this aldehyde group, it is oxidized to carboxylate ion, and Cu2 plus, it is reduced to Cu plus to form the cuprous oxide, which is red PPT, and by liberation of the 3 water molecule. So this is the Fehling solution test, which is only given by the aldehyde. This test is not given by the ketone is there. Now the third test is the Skiff test. For the third Skiff test, there is no reaction at all in this. There is only, remember one statement is, when aldehyde is, when this, it is treated with this Skiff reagent, that time either it gives the violet, pink color, red color or magenta color, it is appears. So there is a confirmation of aldehyde group is there. Now how we can see, suppose one bottle, one of the solution is there, we don't know which solution in that bottle. Suppose if we have light idea it is aldehyde or ketone, we don't know. So how to detect that? Then if in that solution, if we add this Skiff reagent, then this Skiff reagent either it develops in the pink color, either it develops in the red color, or either if it is given magenta type color, then only it indicates that the solution, it is the aldehyde is there. So this is about the 3 reducing properties of the aldehyde is there. We had done the 3. The first one was the Tollens reagent test, second one was the Fehling solution test, and third is the Skiff test. Now one more test is for the ketonic group. This all the 3 whatever we had done, that test was for the aldehyde. Now what about the ketone? For the ketone laboratory test, it is for the sodium nitroprusside test. This question can be asked. Which test is used to detect the ketone? Then the test is sodium nitroprusside test. It is used to detect the ketonic group is there. Now how the reaction takes place in this? Suppose for the ketonic group, suppose if we take the acetone, CH3 CO CH3 is the acetone. If this acetone, it is mixed with the alkali sodium hydroxide, suppose OH minus, then what do we get? This OH minus, then it forms from this CH3 one hydrogen, it is given out. That hydrogen combined with the OH to form the water molecule, to form the CH3 CO CH2 minus is there. This ion we are getting. In the step number 2, nitroprusside ion. What is the formula of nitroprusside ion is there? Then it is FeCN and the N. This is the nitroprusside ion is there. It's a 2 minus charges there. This is known as the complex compound. This will do in the coordination compound chapter. This is Fe cyano nitro group is there. So this is known as the nitroprusside ion is there. This nitroprusside ion, when it is react with this CH3 CO CH2 minus, then how the addition takes place? There is just the addition reaction is there, nothing to, there is the substitution is there. So we have to write in this way. It's a Fe CN5NO. It is combined with CH3CO CH2. Now how many charges are there? 2 minus and minus 1. So it is the 3 minus charges there. This is the red coloration. Now see this. Suppose if we take this one test tube, acetone. If we add the alkali in this, then this acetone converted into the iron first by removal of the water. Water, it doesn't having any color. This acetate, it is doesn't having any color. When this iron, when it is combined with the nitroproside, there is a sodium nitroproside ion. The formula is FeCN5NO2 minus. When both are again combined to form, there is a addition product. This is a FeCN5NO CH3CO CH2 minus, and total charge, this 2 minus, it's nothing, so it's a 1. So 2 minus minus 1, it's a 3 minus, and it changes to red color. It indicates that the solution, whatever we have taken in the test tube, is the ketonic group is there. So in this way, we have done the total 4 properties of aldehyde and the ketone we have done. The 3 properties for the aldehyde, which is only shown by the aldehyde, not by the ketone. What's the reason behind that? In the aldehyde, general formula is RCHO, hydrogen, it is directly attached to the carbonyl carbon, while in ketone, hydrogen is not directly attached to the carbonyl carbon. So there is the oxidation, it takes place only in the aldehyde, so it is a good reducing agent, but then the ketone is there. Then for the detection of the ketone, which test we have to use? Then the sodium nitroproside test is there. And I have written this reaction, so you just go through this. Thank you so much.